we're going to put a lot of meat in here.
Why do you rip it apart, not just pour it in there?
Because it gives us more cooked evenly. If you don't put the whole slab in, it's not cooked evenly. I like it more stretched everywhere than just in one place.
Okay, well, good. Welcome back to the Roman Anton podcast. My name is Roman Anton, and I have a special guest here. I'm going to call you Chef Yakup. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Could you say would you mind saying your Thai name, or do you not use that at all?
I don't use it. I use Yakup mostly.
Yeah, because it's for those who tune in, we're trying to not sell Thailand, but we're trying to show what we do here in Thailand. I'm an American. Frank's from the Philippines. Shogo's from Japan. So, we have a hopefully a wider following, and a lot of times we say stuff about Thailand like you came in on Sukhumvit Soy 20 and people don't know. So I like to explain stuff, but we'll go through this.
Well, that's lovely.
But you and I also have shared Chicago, so we can talk straight up about Chicago as well.
I love Chicago.
Yeah.
Hear it. Love it so much.
Well, great. Well, so I did a little bit of digging online, and Chef Yakup obviously has his first name isn't Chef, it's a title. So you are a chef, but I want to work our way up to that because I think you have an interesting story.
Yes.
And I read a couple of things, but I'd read early on, maybe 10 years old, or when you were younger, you started to get influenced. And there was a book that someone gave you, maybe your mother.
Yes.
It was a cookbook?
Yes, it was a cookbook by Chef Ian.
Chef Ian, I know from Siamese Club?
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite spots, which is near here.
Yes.
One of my favorite spots in Bangkok. I was so happy to read that about you.
Thank you so much.
So we'll jump ahead to when you worked there, but you got a cookbook. Was it in Thai?
Yes, it was in Thai.
So what caught you? I mean, what stopped you? Or was it really that big an impact for you?
It is. It's something where I start cooking because my mom bought me that book. And I'm like, you know what? I've been eating same food forever. I want to try some new food. Let me follow some of his recipe. And after I follow his recipe, it's like everybody in the house love it. So once they love it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not bad at cooking.
So he's a high-end chef. So was he teaching you how to make simple dishes or complicated dishes, or what was going on there?
It was a more refined dish, but at the same time, you need some skills to do it. So I just keep practicing from the recipe that he has in the book.
Do you remember one?
It's like a sauteed kale with like chili and soy sauce or something like that. But it's really refined technique.
Right, sauteed kale. As a 10-year-old, you're like sauteing kale.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say French fries. Or like
no, not French fries.
Chef Ian, sorry, chef. Well, that's interesting. And so your mom just would buy 20 and you'd experiment, or she'd buy a couple and you'd burn some? And
I did a few before, and I'd never burned food actually because my mom always taught me how to cook.
Nice.
Since I was small. I was helping her in the kitchen. So I started getting more inspiration. The more I cook, the better I feel more comfortable. Then after that, I invite my friend to my house, and we do fried chicken.
Nice.
So I'm doing like marinade with like a brine, but with ginger and garlic. And then after that, I put some chili, a lot of chili.
You're 10 years old doing this, or is this later?
This is more like grade 11.
Okay, it's still.
And then my friend came on like, am I going to die from you cooking? And I'm like, no, just try it. And then once he said like, oh my God, I can be your lap forever. I love your food.
Yeah.
If you have new recipe, just hit me up.
That's funny. I mean, so, it's sort of like jumping in and playing par golf right away with those recipes, right? It's not like
from basic.
Right.
Going in.
Yeah. So did your mom, was she a cook? Was she a cooker? Did she like cooking?
She loved cooking. She's a big part of where I grew up learning food. Because my family, we love cooking together and going out to eat.
Yeah.
Just trying new food. We always been inspired to try new food. We don't like to eat the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Let me ask if you could just pull this a little closer to you,
yes.
Or you can move the hosel. But we've been away so long, we're sort of forgetting. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect. Sorry. And if you're uncomfortable, we can adjust it. But
I can move it a little closer.
I'm gonna do this, and we'll leave this in. See how funny this looks. I'm gonna just go like.
Okay.
There we go.
Better?
Yeah, now we're happy. So that's cool. So, a best friend. If I don't know how to grill chicken. I'm sorry to say, but my vision of a chicken griller is a vat of oil, which I'm sure is not what you were doing, right? So you were doing it in a pan and brine. You said?
Yeah, I brine and then I deep fried.
Huh.
So it's like I brine with warm water,
Right.
garlic, ginger, and a lot of chili powder, and a lot of thyme and herbs,
Right.
and I leave for like 2-3 hours, 5 hours. Then after that, I just take it out with the mixed flour with cornflake or other like semolina.
Right.
Mix around,
Nice.
and then wet and again, and then fry.
So, this is what I was thinking about is if you're that young or relatively that young, which I think is very young, do you sort of check out of conventional high school at that point and say like, I'm not going to really follow the regular curriculum? Or did you go through the motions of high school and say, okay.
I go through the whole high school curriculum.
Yeah. Where'd you go? Can you tell me?
Ekamai International School.
Okay, so that's
7-day Adventist school. Yeah.
so that's close to here.
Yes, close to my home. Yeah.
Did you live around there or?
Yes, my house is not far from there, like 30 minutes. So
Okay.
my parents started me international school since I was grade 2.
Uh-huh.
Because before I went to Thai school as a kindergarten 1 to 3.
Right.
And then my parents suddenly jumped me at grade 2, like, hey, you know what? I think English is a thing. It's coming.
Yeah.
So they just dropped me in like international school.
Huh.
Yeah.
And so up to that point, did you have a developed English repertoire? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So all the way.
I try my English my best because some Thai people in school, they like to speak Thai and I try not to. And mostly I grew up like I have an American cousin. So when we visit them in Hawaii, we always like have this connection with America all the time.
Yeah.
So I started learning the culture. I feel like I'm into everything about America. So then I quite grew up like American because every year we go to visit my cousin.
Yeah.
And then I came back here and then finally I go to college there.
Yeah. So you're in Ekamai and you're doing well in school. You're focusing on linguistics at least. Is there high school cooking or are you getting to practice your trade early before training or are you doing it on the side?
Actually, there's a thing I did in high school was the bakery club.
Oh, nice.
I'm the one who opened in high school. I asked the principal if we could open a club.
Nice.
Focused on baking. Everyone gather, we gather monies and then I bought all the stuff and then we start cooking together. So it's a thing when I was back in high school. So I was the club president.
Was there a kitchen you could use?
We used the school cafeteria and they have all that for us.
Did they have to get extra insurance for you?
No.
We're
good.
That's an American problem, right? Like, all Yakup, we're going to need extra insurance. So you're going to have to get $100,000, right? Like, what? Come on. In town, they're like, here you go. Go for it.
Go for it. As long as the principal said, I'll drop by. And then she dropped by.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me try that. Yeah. Okay, principal. Yeah, you're cooking for the principal. I imagine your grade point average went up.
She loved it.
So what do you think? I mean, so if you're at Ekamai, if you're at that school, you got people applying to Cambridge and Oxford and Harvard and Yale, and you got the whole deal, and you got UK, and you got people going to Chula, and you got people going to Thomas Hudson. Were you thinking you wanted to go to a school or some training that was culinary focused?
Yes.
No doubt?
No doubt.
Not like I'll go to Cornell and then I'll study cooking on the side?
Actually, the first thing that comes to my mind was hospitality at first. But then I realized it wasn't me. So I went to this university, Thai university. I forgot their name. I don't really care.
Left a big impression.
Yeah, I don't really care. They said I don't want to discreet their name, but it's a school that I went to, and they're like, oh, they're good hospitality and all that. And then after I went there, it says international, but everybody keeps speaking Thai. Yeah. So when I start speaking English to all of them, nobody speak to me, and they're like, oh, why are you so like trying to speak English? You think you look cool or what? I'm like, no, I'm used to this. Yeah. And then I got really mad, and then I just dropped on the first quarter. I'm like,
yeah, there you go. Cut that out.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, that's okay. We're good with that. So, bleep this bleep. Yeah, I mean, a tough decision, but I'm gathering because you're still a young man. You have your restaurant open. You're persevering. I imagine, in what little I know about celebrity chefs, you have to focus, right? I mean, you have to keep it going.
Yes.
And so I imagine the decision to drop out of a school is a hard decision, but one that you can do easily when you make your mind up. Like, this isn't going to help, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. So this is singular dedication to getting trained.
Then I just went through the whole thing, you know, and I found like Kendall College, which is a really good school. After I finished, I dropped from that bad university I didn't like.
Yeah.
I had a fight with my dad for 3 months about going to the States.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
Yeah, because my dad really loved me, and he's like, no, I don't want to be far from you. And
Yeah,
all
of
that.
course.
And I told him like, hey, but this is a good opportunity for me, you know. Come on, auntie's there in the States. Why not? You know, don't worry about it. And
But
then-
Auntie was in Hawaii or no?
yeah, she's in Hawaii.
That's a far away from Chicago, bro.
I said it's okay, you know, like if I have problems, she fly here, no problem.
Okay.
I convinced him so much for 3 months, and then he's like, you know what, just go.
So how did you go about finding that school? Like, did you have 100 you were looking at, or did you pick that one out first and say, oh, this is...
Actually, I was looking at both school. I was looking at the one in New York, the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America. Then I went to Kendall. I looked at Kendall. I compared both places. And I'm looking like, hey, New York is a cool place, but I feel like it's very fast-paced for me. It's too fast. Everything it's fast. Like, I don't like fast. So I feel like Chicago, it's nice, cozy, center of food. Everybody's... and a Bulls fan too. So I'm like, hey, why not? So I guess like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, so you grew up watching Jordan win?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm a Milwaukee fan, and I wore my colors today, so
Oh.
we'll have a little bit of a disagreement, but that's okay. So Kendall is on North Michigan, right? It's
Yes.
closer to the museum?
Yes.
It's over the river.
Around the Goose Island.
Yeah.
Closer to Greek Town.
Right. Okay. And so, okay, right. Well, interesting. So did you had you been there before? Or did you just show up with a bag?
I'm just like applied. I applied from Thailand. There's an actual company that helps me get through all the process. I have to went through the test and all that. Then after I went there, I was very welcome. I feel home right away. All the friends there like welcome. They get me through the dorms, have the new friends, and they can tour, and I feel home. And I pretty much lived the food since I first got there. And also my first meal was Panda Express.
Pan Express. Do they have that in Bangkok?
I don't think so, but there's
It's like
it's
a
a guy who
delivery
did
ser-
some similar thing. But
Right. Yeah, it's a delivery service for those of you from that area. But all right, so you ordered out Chinese or something from Pan Express. All right. So you're in Chicago, September,
yes,
and you hadn't been to a Chicago winter yet.
yes, for my first time.
So did you have any winter clothes, or did you have to buy them there?
I got everything from there. I just go to North Face and grab everything.
Right. And did you believe it could be that cold?
I never believed it was gonna be that cold, but I love it. My
Yeah.
first time seeing snow was like a kid who'd never seen snow before.
Well, and you were like, what do you do with it, right?
I just went out there and run and go crazy, like like.
Did you bite a big mouthful?
My friends say, hey, you should try. I'm like, why not?
See, Shogo and I get this. I'm not sure if Frank and Rath get the snow thing, but... And did you ever throw a snowball at a car?
Oh, I did.
All right, there we go.
I
So
had fun.
Now you're a friend of mine here. There was official.
I throw a lot.
Right. My brother and I grew up doing that. So I apologize if that's no longer an acceptable practice, but snowballs at cars is sort of a Chicago, Wisconsin, Milwaukee thing. So,
It's fun.
so you move there, you're on your own, you're pretty excited, and you get in. How big is your class?
I'm about 20, 25.
So
people.
so intimate, right? Like
Yes.
you know their names and
I know everybody.
yeah. And so
This college actually very nice since I know from all different 5 classes all your friends, and if one guy has drama, the whole school.
yeah.
It's pretty much
Right.
that close. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing it's like
I
working in a
like it,
kitchen,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're going to
And-
learn everyone's stuff working close.
I like it actually because every friend. So I'm like, if you have anything, like, hey, you know what, you can hang with this guy.
So what is the school? How does a curriculum for culinary look? I mean, the degree. So do you start learning how to boil water? Or is it? I mean, you have to build on something, right? So what's
Yes.
first semester?
So our first 101 was actually more of a dice cut. We learned theory of like, how many techniques are there for blanching, saute, baking, and all that. But then the first day we did was just cut potatoes. Potato, onions, and celery. That's all we do. I have to buy like 20 pounds of potato to practice. After first day, my cut was so horrible, and I have to practice. I came home from school. I have to do, more potato. Yeah, and I kind of like it.
Okay, so this is the putting practice you never had, right? It's
and that's where I learned to go to Costco because I have to buy 20 pounds of potato.
Right.
Apply for member right away.
Right. So you remember we had a drummer before Shogo. His name was Roger, and Roger loved Costco. And when he went back to the States, he went back to Costco. We talked about this at the restaurant I went to visit. So just for full disclosure, I went to Chef Yakup's restaurant, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I said, do you miss anything? And you said Costco, which you have a substitute here like a Big C and a Macro, but it's not like Costco. Right?
It's not the same. Nothing compares to Costco.
Right. So guys, you can go to Costco and get like a million olives in a big barrel if you want, right? It's just these massive amounts of food.
Everything, big milk, big car, big sausage, big everything. Sausage. Chicken is big.
Right. So you got 100 pounds of potatoes your first night, started hacking them.
Yes.
Did you cook them or throw them out?
Oh, I've made everything mashed potato and frozen so I can eat for like a whole month.
So did you live in a dorm or did you live in an apartment?
I live in a dorm with, at first it was school dorm with 4 roommates actually. All American, one from Milwaukee, one from other states, and they're mixed together.
Right.
And it was pretty cool. Everybody was chilling, hanging out. And they tell me about the American thing, and I just hang out, learn about the culture. Because even though I'm growing up with American culture, but still, I something I don't know.
You're there then.
Yeah, so that I learn from them.
So, do you have a kitchen in your dorm?
We do.
Wow,
actually.
That's sort of extreme.
But what funny thing is, the dorm we had, even though we have ventilators, but then when we cook steak, every time the alarm goes on.
Yeah.
It was funny. We have to open like our 4 different windows.
Right. So it's December, you're cooking steak and you're freezing cooking.
Yeah.
Steak. Well, it's funny because I imagine now that you make me think about it, there's the fan I have over my oven, which is small and residential, and then there's the stuff you have at the shop, which is probably extra strength, and you can clear out burning lamb if you have it, right. And so in the dorm, they're probably midway, right? Probably lower end, and you're in there cooking, trying to get 5 dudes.
Yeah, 5 dudes trying to cook their own thing. One guy's trying to bake lasagna, one's trying to get pizza baked. And this guy making pizza, so it's like
just a mess.
Just a mess, yeah.
Well, that's fun though, but that's college, right?
It's fun. I love my college.
Yeah, that sounds sort of like my college experience, which was 200 miles away up at Madison, Wisconsin. So it's just, dudes in a room and cooking stuff and drinking beer.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Right, yeah. So you're in the class and you progressively go through the skills.
Yes.
So this was unlike Thailand at the hospitality training school. You get there and you're like, okay, I like this. And then you realize like my cutting technique is sloppy. I have things to learn here and relearn.
Yes.
And even though you had Chef Ian's book down, you probably looking back thinking, I really wasn't preparing that.
Yeah, I think I was, I thought I was ready. When all the chefs come in, I'm like, I'm so intimidated actually. And I have to cut everything because they measure everything by, ruler.
Right.
They came by smaller, inch by inch, how much you cut, and they just look at piece by piece and just doing like that. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm so nervous.
Right.
And it's so intimidating, but that's why I have to buy a lot of potatoes to keep practice. So the next time we're on a test, I don't fail that.
So if I saw you had a couple of articles where you gave recipes. You would never say 12 3-inch cubes, 1/4-inch diameter of carrot. I mean, I've never seen a recipe that's that specific, but in the trade, you would know if they say a cup of carrots thinly sliced, what that means.
Yes.
There's sort of a language.
There's a name for it, like julienne, bâtonnet.
Right.
That's just a cut name.
That's so funny you mentioned that because there was this ad on TV when I was growing up, WFLD 32 out of Chicago.
Yes.
Where they would sell all these knives all night long.
Oh.
Cuts, slices, and die lists, juliennes, and it would be this list all for $1, and you'd be like, "What is this knife?" But you just sort of explained it, like the different cuts, and I've heard it a million times off of WFLD TV 32 out of Chicago.
So, because those cuts mean something for us as a chef. When you hire someone, you know their knife skills.
Huh?
If their knife skill was good, you can hire them.
Yeah.
And how they prepare their stuff like that.
So what would you say, like, hey, Roman, julienne some fries
Yes.
as a test.
Yes.
So if I showed up at Fat Lamb with my knife kit and my hat and stuff, you'd say, okay, show me.
Yeah, show me.
And so that's...
I'll do two things. Julienne this, make dice this, and make me an omelet.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
You know how I know? From the way they act on their station. You know how they put the bowl, they crack their eggs, it's clean, they season, they throw everything organized. If everything was organized, this guy's okay.
That's like the most... I mean, because everyone in this room can make an omelet.
Yes.
But you would see rookie, pro, just from omelet.
Yes.
That's so funny. I never thought of
From
that.
personality-wise, I can tell even how they are.
Clean.
Yeah.
Messy,
That's how I interview them.
disorganized.
And then I have my ways of interviewing them before, and then I see them in action.
Interesting.
So it both combine, but not letting them know that I'm actually have a purpose in my head.
So I didn't try to go through all of the great cooking movies that I'm sure you watch and the horrible ones that are supposedly great that chefs would say are nonsense. But I remember this one movie, and it has this actor, and it's Stanley Tucci, and he had a restaurant in New York that was either going out of business or staying in business. And the last 10 minutes of the movie, or 15 minutes, is him and his brother, I think it's his brother, making an omelet and eating it. And it's one of the most elaborate film things ever. I got to send this to you if this is how you judge people, but it was very funny because I thought basic omelet, some basic stuff inside, and they sit down, and then they roll the credits after they've eaten half of it, I think. It was really a weird movie to me, and I thought, I would imagine chefs, this whole thing is sort of an inside chef movie. You ever heard of this movie, Stanley Tucci?
I've never heard of Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, he's a very popular actor now, but
I watched this movie called Burnt.
yeah, right.
Some guy, Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
I love this guy.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you're in Chicago. You're learning the skills. 2-year program, 4-year program, 10-year program, 3-year program, 1-year program?
4-year program.
4-year, wow.
Pretty long.
And so what as you get out of the beginner program, what are the...
The first half 2 year was mostly on cooking. Everything was hand-ons and theory. The last 2 year was more on business side. So we never get to cook on this last 3/4 year, you know.
Right.
Or, you know, sophomore and senior year, we don't get to do cooking. Just...
So is there like... I didn't even think of that. So there's like how to balance your books, how to buy stuff, how to charge it, how to invoice, what are good credit terms.
How to write a menu.
How to write a menu, right.
How to organize your menu in a way such that put in order which one customer wants to order. You put the cheap one first up top, or you put the expensive one up top.
Oh, I see.
How you order it, and then makes it look, you know, smooth to the eye of the customers.
Interesting.
They will look appealing for them.
All right, I'm doing this in my head now. I'm thinking we've eaten at El Gaucho a million times, right? So I couldn't tell you if I've been lured into the expensive spot by it, but it's sort of a dude menu, I think, because it has everything on one page, which I like. So that's interesting. So is there like, now that I think about it, is there like restaurant design?
The concept is actually most by the chef. It's not mostly about the study, but they will tell us how to manage it, how to get organized with your money, how to run, not to broke down. And there's a mistake in the industry that people are doing, what you should do and what to avoid.
How about like equipment purchases? Was there like ovens? Here are the different types.
Yes, they touch everything, even oven, grills, pan, knives, everything pretty much in the kitchen. You have to know every spot, even cleaner, sanitizer, what type of pH do you need to use, FDA, test, you go through everything for cleaning purposes.
That's a big deal to you and me hearing it, right? Because it seems like in the United States, that's people, there's people come and check your restaurant, and there's a whole organization out there to try and catch you guys doing it wrong, right? Like,
They really go crazy about the cleaning.
Right.
Everything is always sanitized.
Right.
After cooking a little bit, we spray sanitize, clean. Keep going like that.
Yeah.
That's what we always do.
Yeah.
It became my habit too, since we all train that way. Super clean. It's like you going, for example, if you go to a sushi restaurant, you would never see a chef like so many things. He has like few things. He's very organized. He's very clean.
Yeah.
Few things done. Just the master do it. His job.
Yeah. I always thought that was because the nature of the Japanese restaurant, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it was in front of you. So like they sort of have to be clean, or you're gonna be like, "What, dude? Come on."
Yeah,
up.
you would be like, "What are you doing?"
Clean up, bro.
But usually the master sushi chef will probably never make mistakes because he probably been training for 10 years or something. To be able to stand on top in front of customers, it takes 10 years. Right. Some guys just wash the rice for 10 years.
Just the rice,
Just the rice. Just freaking rice, and learn how to
So I need you to help me here. Explain to the universe that's not from around here. Chicago, you don't see rice on plates very often, right?
I don't. I see wings and bread and pizza.
These guys always laugh at me because I'm, rice, when we go out, I'm like, for what? Like I still haven't caught up even though I've been here for 10 years. It is just, I didn't eat rice more than 50 times as a kid, max, for sure. Right?
Even Uncle Ben's?
Right. A box of Uncle Ben's, which isn't really even rice, is it?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Uncle Ben. I'm sure you're awesome. But we had that San Francisco treat stuff, whatever that was. Rice-A-Roni.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that stuff?
Yes.
I don't know what that was either. I never ate it.
But I never tried that either.
Right.
I always go to my Asian
When I go home, I'm going to get you a
rice.
box of Rice-A-Roni. I'm going to bring it back. We'll go.
Sure.
I'll ask you to mix up a box and see what happens. But it's funny. I mean, rice. It was a very foreign thing to my palate and my plate when I was eating. And my mom was a very exceptional cook, I thought. But and I'm sure she had rice dishes, but I probably pushed it to the side.
You probably get more steak.
Yeah,
wings,
of course. Potatoes.
Potatoes
On it, mashed potatoes. Come on now, with a big stick
slop.
of butter, right?
Yeah.
Or something. And gravy.
Oh man, I'm hungry.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so now you're there. So that's really interesting. I'd never thought of that. So like, if I think about this, I drove by something the other day. The Cordon Bleu School at the Dusit. I think it's closed now.
In Thailand?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're closed.
I mean, I think they moved it. I think they're fixing the hotel, so it may have moved.
I see.
Is that a 4-year program or
I think it was a 4-year program. One of my friend who was an Iron Chef was also the teacher there.
Right.
Yes.
So I had no idea when I was looking at some of these buildings, in particular, at Kendall. It's a 4-year program, and I could see how, especially for you guys, because your going proposition, if it's not a food cart or food stall, is going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, just, okay, now you graduated, now go spend, right? It's like, wait a minute. Right.
I have to work for different restaurants. Actually, in the States, you're not allowed to work, right? So what I do stage, work for free.
That's a good question. Okay, yeah, so let's back up. So you're in the United States, Thai citizen?
Yes.
And you are on a school visa or academic visa or whatever that's called. So that has a thing.
Yeah, student visa.
Student visa. And then you're counting the clock because you're like, I could probably get a job with a Kendall degree in Chicago pretty well and with some letters of recommendation, but then you're working.
Yes.
So then you have to get a different visa.
Yes.
And that's a whole bunch of headache, just like anywhere in the world for your boss.
Yes.
He's like, dude, I'm not going to get your visa.
Work all
right.
Yeah.
Right. You're not worth it.
Yeah.
Come back in 10 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But I went all through that. So what I did was free staging. So after my school, I just went for different chefs and just go, hey, chef, use my labor for free. Anything you want, I'll work for free. I don't care. I just want your knowledge.
So let's not name them because I'm sure that's some immigration thing that it's get them in trouble now. But so you worked for, to me, and I traveled a lot for work back in the day, and I ate in a lot of cities, and I ate in a lot of cities around the world. And Chicago is always close to my home. So my mom is in Racine, Wisconsin. I grew up in Racine, Wisconsin, just short of Milwaukee.
Yes.
And so my brother is still in Chicago. And so when I go back, I go to Chicago and meet. And there were some very good restaurants, I thought, in Chicago. But you had a guy who, I think even when I was going back there a lot, Rick Bayless, right, was one of your...
Oh, he's amazing guy.
Right.
I love this guy so much.
Yeah, so show me the
for
path to working for these hot shots, because this is different, right? So you're out, you're knocking on the window and saying, can I cook burgers for you or whatever, and can I learn some stuff, and can I do some stuff?
Actually, it was a cool thing how I met Chef Rick. It was my school. Somebody in the school said, the chef's like, hey, Rick Bayless is doing an event with other chefs. If any students wants to join, you're able to do so.
Join like as a cook or join as watching?
Volunteer.
Okay, nice.
You'll be able to see what the great chefs do. As a student, I do anything to learn from the great masters. I just go there and like, chef, what do you need? He said, do this, do that. Even service, you help them plate.
So where is it? In like a auditorium or something?
No, it was in one of the chef's restaurants.
Oh, of course.
So he was doing in his friend's restaurant.
Oh, cool.
And then we go meet chef and Miss Chef Alex Stutpak. Different cool chefs I met. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm getting hot shots and everywhere. And they're like, chef, if you need anything, I'm able to ask permission to start at their restaurant. I'm like, why not? Come down on if you have time.
So you call it starch?
Staging.
Stage. That's a French word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Staging, yeah.
Like a stagiaire. So, okay. Interesting. So then these guys expect that. And that's part of the history of.
It's part of culinary.
Right.
Students. Everybody go to work for great chefs, under free. They don't care if they get paid or not.
Right.
They just want the knowledge to be able to grow in the career.
Yeah.
The more knowledge you have, the better. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you graduate school, do you stay in the United States for a couple of years then?
Yes, I've got the work visa.
Okay.
For a year, and then I work, and then after you get 2 years more for graduate, you get another 1 year.
Okay, so there's some
two-part.
law that allows you to hang around for a bit to do your trade after you learned
Yes,
it.
after you
That's cool.
finish school.
That doesn't sound.
That's very generous of the United States. Yeah,
It is. That doesn't sound like us right now.
Yeah.
Like, get out. You're
Yeah,
done.
that's very generous of them. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yes.
Yay, America. So who do you first work for?
Actually,
The Billy Goat Tavern, flipping burgers.
Oh, Belly Goat Tavern was pretty. I like that place, but yeah, I mean,
No, so how do you decide? Like,
actually, I went through this place called 59, the 95th floor,
right
the Sears Tower,
right,
on top of the 95th floor. The
right.
signature room.
right. It's no longer the Sears Tower. What is it now?
And this is the Sears Tower or Sears Tower.
Some
yeah.
other name now.
Yeah.
It's like the whatever tower. Okay, so you go there and you get a job. Well, that's sort of fancy, right?
Yeah, it's a high-end, nice restaurant
Right.
with a beautiful view, and it's packed. You cook for 500 people every service.
Good Lord, I never thought of that.
So for salad, you first start, of course, obviously you start a salad station, and it's like 500 plates of salads every day. Every day. I mean, prepping, there's a prep food that you also prep. And then when you just come in the early morning, I came like 4 o'clock in the morning, start prepping stuff.
For
8
lunch?
o'clock, and then you start breakfast until lunch. You finish at lunch like 2 or 3 o'clock, then you're done.
Is it part of a hotel, 59, or
It's a restaurant.
so you serve breakfast
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. They have 3.
for people in the building probably, and then for
Tourists, yeah.
Tourists. Wow, so 500 of the same salad to get ready or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
they have like 5 menus for salad station. You have 5 menus, so one salad plate has like 5-6 components.
Right.
You gotta make everything from scratch.
So you're just going mad.
Oh, crazy.
Half a tomato or whatever it is. Just
chop. You have like this big box of everywhere, like big plates. Prep.
And
Throw it in.
And are you alone at that point, or are there always people around you and you're always bumping into each other and you're always just sort of in this
There's
mess?
so many guys in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But for salad station, you are allowed only 2 person at that station. And there's some prep cook who helps you 1 or 2 person, and that's it. And the rest you're on your own.
And are you talking all the time, or is it a concentration thing?
It's very concentrated unless you're like, can I have my shrimp on my salad? Because
Right.
I need the shrimp from that part of the salad. Like 2 shrimp, please, and they throw it down.
So so for 4 years you're having the American experience. You're hanging out with the dudes. You're going to school. You're going to
The basketball game. and all
basketball
that.
games, right?
Yes.
Is awesome. And now you're like 500 salads. And you're probably working with folks and you're having less contact and your head is down and you're working and it's long hours.
Yes.
So
Super long.
is the dream still alive, or are you like, oops, made a mistake here. This is too hard. I can't do 10 years of this.
It's still alive, actually.
Yeah.
I love cooking.
Yeah. I could see though, there's like, oh, reality is my hands, I can't bend them after the first 3 weeks. Like, right. You're just doing it. Yeah. Okay. So 59. So, well, good for them. So you score big right away and you see how a huge top flight restaurant works in the 3rd biggest city in the United States. And you're like, wow.
Very awesome experience. Work with great chefs and great people. And then after that, I got an opportunity to work in a hotel. Another hotel I went to was a Silversmith Hotel. Very nice.
I don't know where that is.
It's in the middle of Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know Silversmith.
It's just a new hotel that opened.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So, and it's really nice. And I get to work with the chefs. And for 3 months, then I got another opportunity with one Michelin star restaurant called Naha. Chef Carrie Nahabit, and she's super awesome. She's the Greatest chef I've ever met.
It's still open, still there?
She closed down and opened another restaurant called Brindle. But they got Michelin star for 20 years.
Nice.
So they're awesome.
And so what was Naha? What type of food was that?
Mediterranean with American twist.
Huh, so you're already on your Mediterranean thing at that point.
At that point, I'm going all in Mediterranean.
How does that happen? Because you're Thai, I mean, right? And you have a 18-year, 17-year track record doing the Thai thing, and you started cooking Thai.
Yes.
So you're not exactly
Mediterranean type.
just bucking Thailand. You're like, I don't want to learn this. But what catches you to be Mediterranean?
I have because to be in America, you have different friends. I had a lot of other Turkish friends, and they brought me to this Turkish restaurant. When I tried their food, I was like, dude, this is like freaking cool barbecue. And it's like, everything is meat. It's the most manliest thing you ever eat. And then like bread, meat. And I'm like, I like this food. And I'm onto the route there. I'm like, okay, maybe Mediterranean food with Turkish restaurant or with American chef. Okay, nice combination. Why
Interesting.
not? And then I'm like, I go in. And
Do you remember the first time?
like when I worked there, or
Like the first Iskender kebab you had or whatever from the Turkish restaurant. You're like, oh, was it like that, or was it just a series of encounters?
No, it was more of like when I tasted, like, dude, this thing rocks.
Yeah.
I like the food, hell yeah, and like bring me more to that restaurant.
Interesting.
And then I started hanging out with the Turkish dudes and chef. I meet different Turkish chefs, and they teach me a few tips and trade. Like, okay, do this. Hey, make this. When you marinate, you do this.
Yeah.
I got pick tips and trade from them. And then like, okay, then once I go to like proper Michelin restaurant, I see what the chefs are doing. She's doing more a modern plate, not just kebab, more refined plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So do you remember the name of the first one you went into? Where it was? What street it was on?
The restaurant?
Yeah. The Turkish.
The Turkish restaurant I went was Turquoise.
Okay. I don't know.
Turquoise in Chicago. So it was done by Chef Mustafa.
Okay.
Super awesome.
The man, right?
Yeah, he's the man.
So in my mind, Turkish, the yogurt, the labna, that to me is in a top 3 for me. Like those dishes with the bread, just simple.
Creamy.
Yeah, I'm like, I love that. And then I also like the sauce for the gyro, which is the Billy goat, right? But I like that.
The yogurt sauce.
Yeah, I don't know. That has nothing to do with my...
Tzatziki, jajik. Yeah.
Right. I'm a huge fan of that.
Oh, you're a huge fan. With the gyro and little French fries and tomato.
Well, of course. So that's, the French fry thing. But, the sauce, I remember the first time I had that sauce, I was like, wow, that was sort of an eye-opener in all those regards. Like, I like this. So maybe not the same thing you had, but I remember when I got exposed to that because it wasn't, a natural thing to be eating that stuff in Racine, Wisconsin. You had to sort of go search it out, right?
Yeah, you had a specialty shop.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, interesting. So the seed is sown. You're thinking Mediterranean, and are your thoughts fat lamb? You're in a restaurant. I mean, is it that developed because you've been trained in school to set the menu and build the place,
Yes.
right? And so, are you already thinking, I want to get my own spot. I want to do Mediterranean. Was it that?
Not yet. First when I came back to Thailand, I worked for Chef Ian at Isaiah.
Yeah.
I get to do some Thai food.
So you come back here.
Yes, I
So
came back here.
you do how many? So you did Alex Stupek and Rick Bayless. That's New York. Did you work in New York?
No, it was chef who came here, and then I get to work with.
Okay. And so you worked with a couple of places in Chicago. You do the advanced degree, then your visa runs out or not, but you say, I'm going back.
Yes.
Okay. And so you land.
My parents really missed me. And
Right. You missed them too. I'm going to say that to your dad.
Yes.
Good man. There you go.
As an Asian guy.
There you go.
Asian thing. If your parents say come home, you come home. You can't say no.
All right.
This is an Asian thing, I guess.
Well, I'm on your dad's side. I've known him longer than you. So there you go. So your smart son coming home.
Yeah.
So they say come home, and you say, of course, I'd love to. I miss you very much. And
That's what you should do.
You're thinking on the plane ride over, where am I going to work?
Yes. When I first came home, I'm like, okay, I work for Chef Ian. He's my idol. I idolize him a lot, like crazy.
Does he know? Do you know him at this point?
I knew him before I went to the States. Actually, my mom. Luckily, I met him in chef event in Thailand. He was a judge, and my mom took him randomly, meet chef, and like chef, I really adore you. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan. Can I, one day if I be a chef, I would really want to work under you. I don't care what it is. I'd do anything.
And he said, yeah, okay, come back. Come back when you
Yeah, and
Go
what's
away.
funny part is he know my chef, my other mentor, Chef Carrie, now being the owner of Naha.
Uh-huh.
And I was working for the whole time, and I just knew later, before I going back, oh, I'm a friend of Ian. I have a friend in Thailand. I'm like, what?
Small world.
I'm like, small world again.
And so when you got here, he was at the location that he's currently in, because I think he was somewhere before that, right?
Yes, he had
Yeah.
a few 5-6 restaurants.
It's my favorite. I mean, it's still one of my favorite spots. The upstairs table dining area.
The long one with
Yes,
the woods. Yes.
I love that room.
It's really nice and comfy.
And it has my favorite dish, which I don't think is fair to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. I think it's wrapped in one of the leaves. It's that braised pork. No, it's like a cube of pork that's wrapped up, and it comes out, and they put it on a little grill in front of you. You remember that?
Oh, that was the satay, I think.
I don't know.
There's a
I'm
satay
not
with,
that
with,
stupid.
With the grill with the flour, and then they do the flame on torch on top.
I wonder. It's been 2 years
Maybe
since I've been there.
maybe they changed their menu.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love that place, and it was always great for business because you could bring.
Did you try the rice too? The olive rice?
Yeah, of course.
That one was my favorite.
Right. I'm not saying I've given up on rice, but it's
Yeah.
rare that I'm going to reach out for it. But yeah, I mean,
Because it has a lot of umami flavor.
right.
Like the more you want to taste, and truffle and crispy garlic on top.
Yeah, the crispy garlic is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool place. So you went to work for him there?
Yes.
Nice. And so where were you living? Over in Ekamai?
In Ronkonkoma, actually. my house.
Ronkonkoma.
Yeah.
And so you drive yourself?
I had to go. I just took bike and then train under because it's still far to drive and park.
Right. It's a weird. It's a great spot to get to, but it's not exactly on the subway line or the metro line.
Yes. So I always have to take the subway, and then take a motorcycle and go
Right.
for work. And at night I would just take taxi and take it home.
Yeah. And so how long was your work week starting there?
Oh, it was fun actually. But I had to adjust because I'm working with American Kitchen with American guys and those Mexican guys. The fast working guy. And I'm used to Spanish. And I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, okay, but this is different phrase.
Right.
People are more relaxed, but at the same time, hard to please. I don't know.
The chef or the staff? Everyone.
Staff, actually.
So even the servers and.
Yes, but they're very nice. In general, they're a very kind person and all
that's what
that.
we see.
But just I guess the culture different of taste that I changed during when I was in America. When I come back here, I had different taste.
Yeah.
It's I say they're nice people, but I just don't really go on the same page.
Right. Well, you're trained somewhere else, right?
Yes.
I would imagine
The way they talk to me, but the kitchen was great.
Yeah.
The food was perfect. Staff was nice. I just I guess different opinions. I guess.
Yeah. So did you get to practice all your skills? Did you like go out and buy stuff with him? Were you in a spot like you did salads at 59 or 89 or whatever that
Yeah,
place
I did salad. Then I moved to saute, different place.
Uh-huh.
And so I had to move to salad, and then I moved to the saute.
is?
And I do with different stuff and helping, just mostly go around.
Yeah. And did you were you like, what is this galangal? I mean, were you like in a new world, or was it like?
It actually new for me. I know some of the ingredients, but I never worked with it before. I don't know how to make Thai curry before. I don't know how to make any Thai food.
Right.
Because when I grew up, I eat of different food as in my family. We had like some Chinese food. We had some Thai food, but not that super classic old Thai food.
Right.
Because we were more like burgers. I grew up eating burgers mostly, and
Yeah, and I would
fried
assume the cookbook you had was his earlier cookbook, and so
Yes.
even his skills got so advanced, right? And
Yes.
so you were learning his new stuff,
yes, this new style is going.
Right.
Yeah.
which is awesome, which
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of. And so you're looking for ways. You got your American skills, you got the Kendall School, you got the varieties of French and whatever styles you learned, but
Yes.
now you're here back in Thailand doing it. And were you thinking Mediterranean the whole time?
Actually, when I first came back, I opened the other restaurant with my friend for a year, but I decided to leave that place due to different ideas.
Yeah.
It was American Smokehouse Texas Barbecue.
Where?
I was Sororama 49 next to my restaurant. It was before my old restaurant.
In Tongler.
No, in the Ramanine Soy 49.
Oh, okay, over there. So it's an American Smokehouse out there.
Yes, super American. Everything was American in the whole thing. Barbecue, chicken wings, smoked ribs, everything, you name it.
not exactly my first choice to go find American stuff out by there. Like
Yeah, but
I
I
might
mean-
go down here.
Yeah, I love the
Right.
the Texas
See,
cuisine.
burgers?
Tex-Mex,
Did you have like a
We have burgers. We have like
Did you have-
smoked ribs, brisket, smoked barbecue.
Did you have baked
corn
beans?
cob. Yes, we do. Baked beans. We have Brussels sprout.
Brussels
Yeah,
sprouts? That's so funny. Brisket. There's only one or two places I go to eat brisket here now.
Yes.
One is Roadhouse Barbecue. Now that you mention it, but
Yes.
Dana over there, he makes that brisket. I like that.
Pretty awesome too. Yeah.
You like it? Yeah. I mean, I like it too, but
not-
it tastes legit to me. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know what legit brisket is,
But I like it with I did it with a little more modern technique instead of the classic
yeah.
smoking through the whole thing. I did a sous vide and then I dry rub and then
Oh, nice.
through a smoker, so it's brine, and it's more juicy when you come out. You can lap and just pour it out like that.
Yeah, I like doing that. Right when it's moist.
Yes, it's the best feeling when you do that.
So do you have your American version of your own personalized barbecue that's sort of that American style?
Yes,
Yeah.
even the sauce and everything, I had my own twist on it too.
Yeah. What was your distinguisher, if you can say it?
So if my distinction, I put a lot of coffee and more paprika, oniony side.
Ground coffee?
Yeah, I did ground because cowboys back in the day they were
Right.
smoking meat with coffee.
Coffee,
So that's why you put coffee and makes it a very, nice smoky aromatics flavor. At the same time, it's not taking so much of the other flavor
Do you
apart.
ground it fine? Because I would think it's crunchy if it's too big. Right?
Very, very fine,
Mm.
like a powder.
Interesting.
That's my paprika, onion, garlic, mustard, and all that.
Does it make it
Good
like
stuff.
a dark brown color then?
Yes,
Not
makes it-
red or that
no, it's
rosy
dark.
stuff, right?
No, it's dark, black, like charcoal.
Right, right.
At first, some Thai people would ask, "Is it burned?
Right.
What is this? Why is it burned? Why you burn?" I said, "No. This
Mm.
is the American style barbecue, and it's been smoked with different spices, and that's how it turned black."
Boy, I gotta tell you, I've when people watch me, like Frank will watch me eat French fries after some of our shows, and I'll have so much ketchup on the fries, he's disgusted. I can tell, but it's like from barbecue, I've learned I love a lot of barbecue sauce on brisket or ribs. I mean, I don't even think I eat all of it, but I just love it drenched.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from,
I
but
think it's American style with meatball.
right.
But if you say once you're saying ketchup, reminds me of one thing. Philippines, they have this banana ketchup thing.
Banana ketchup?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
You eat it
It has this banana flavor.
on breakfast, like on your cereal, or what?
No, it's just like tomato ketchup, so it's just a variation.
To make a very okay. So you don't know how to make it. You don't know how to make anything. You're like me. You can't make food.
No,
can you?
it's just like any ordinary ketchup. It's just banana ketchup, tomato, and spicy, something like that.
What color is it? Red?
You're
It's
right.
orange.
Like
Orange?
orange,
Oh,
but it has
or
like banana
red.
flavor. Yeah, it's
Huh.
really strong banana flavor.
Is there like a Heinz
It's
banana
sweet.
ketchup?
Yeah, but it's
Heinz, but it's
flavor.
banana. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty cool.
All right, Shogo, you got a Japanese ketchup we need to learn about here? All right.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
all right, yeah, this is standard. You stole that from us. Come on now. All right.
And then they have their own version of spaghetti too.
Spaghetti. Yeah.
It's very sweet base onion and very heavy, and it's like nice, but it's sweet though. If you like sweet,
Is it working man's? Like you gotta
I mean,
hunker down and eat?
it suits the Asian palate. It's sweet.
Okay.
It's nice.
I never
But
thought
it's
of that.
very different from
American
Thai,
spaghetti, yeah.
Thai spaghetti. Yeah.
It's different, yeah. It has this
Anyway,
character.
I don't eat spaghetti.
Oh, you don't like that?
All right. Well, so you're over here and you're making the thing and you do the American styled soy 49 your neighborhood
Yes.
and you say difference of ideas here, and you then what?
Then I leave the place.
Yeah.
And I said, since we're partner, you manage
Yeah.
because you're not respecting me or all that.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it, but yeah, we just have different opinions.
Yeah. It happens.
And then you know what? Then I like, you know what? I'm gonna make another restaurant better than yours, and
Yeah.
and just show you what I'm made of.
And so that's the one you're currently in?
Yes.
And so that's called the Fat Lamb.
Yes.
And I read that you were on a train ride going somewhere when you looked out the window and saw lambs
Yes.
and you thought they were
'Cause-
symbolic and nice and cute and
Yes.
that would be a good name.
Yes.
But it's also, I mean, you have an exceptional lamb, so it's not a coincidence, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we had very good lamb too.
Yeah. Okay, so now you have to roll out the skills. I'm going to open my own shop. What do you start focusing on first? The
concept,
location?
the location and the concept.
Because that can change everything, right? If you're on the edge of a cliff and you call it,
The cliffhanger.
Peaceful Meadows, it's going to be
Yeah.
ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
You call it the cliffhanger. Yeah. All right. So you find your spot, and do you focus on kitchen first or dining room first? What's your
The experience of the concept. I say
okay.
location and the concept of which the market has to offer and what I like to cook.
Huh.
I focus what I like, then I'll focus on what type people like to eat. Then I'll mix together. Okay, this food might go well. This might go well.
Yeah.
It'll do the job.
And so you snuck something in there that's clearly a schooling concept or your regular smarts concept, which was what the market will allow.
Yes.
So are you talking about where you live, what that market will allow, or what Bangkok?
Yes.
Okay.
Bangkok, Thai
Okay.
people.
So your street.
Yes, but I know some of the menus are clearly good for expats themselves, so I just put it there because I know it's gonna sell.
I see.
Otherwise, for Thai people, before I had 3 changes in my menu. The first menu, there's not a lot of rice. I can see the sales good, but once I start putting the rice in my menu, the sales went up by 30 to 40%.
I couldn't tell you if you had rice on your menu because I didn't order it. Maybe it came out.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, I ate there a couple weeks ago, but I didn't notice it.
We put like kebab with rice.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm sure.
And the big plates of rice with.
Oh, right. I did get a
shang and
kebab dish. That
barbecue.
was on
Yeah.
there. I pushed it to the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't going to get eaten, right? Because we got an extra piece of that.
Yes.
Okay. So you're deciding concept, the market, location, kitchen is like a kitchen obsession. Are you crazy on your first full-size solo kitchen
Yes.
and you want to get the Mercedes and the Lamborghini, or do you go say, I got to get a Hyundai and work up?
No, I say I get more of like a Mustang.
Okay.
In the middle.
Sporty, but fun.
Yes, sporty, fun, economical. The classic.
All right. Not going to break
Yeah.
the bank.
Yes.
All right. And so is it serving you well 2 years in, your decisions, or are you like, I wish I'd have gotten the deluxe flue so we're not all choking on
Actually, it
smoke?
works for me, but the only thing I regret was not doing an open kitchen.
There you go.
I like to chill.
Is that Asian open kitchen? And I hate saying stuff like that, but do you find that the open kitchen's American, European, Asian, African?
Actually, very nice to have an open kitchen since you can have activities with your customers.
Right.
For example, if you have an American barbecue grill, you would put a pit in the middle of the restaurant.
Right.
So
See-
customer can see the chefs in action,
Yeah, yeah.
and they will feel like, oh, that's what I'm gonna eat.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much works for everywhere.
Yeah, I just ate at the Waldorf, the Bear and the Bull or whatever that was, and they had an open kitchen, and it was smoky, but not, the room was full of smoke, and I thought, wow, that's an interesting, they must have some crazy suction air thing, like,
Yeah, going
because they are
crazy.
cooking like mad, and they're cooking big pieces of meat, and it was just interesting. I thought, that works for me. I sort of don't want to smell like smoke when I leave, but I'm not. And I thought, cool effect, right?
Yes.
So open kitchen. All right, well, next, modification, right?
Yes.
Spring break.
As long as you get, because
Yeah.
when you cook, your customer feel they're a participant of the cooking,
Yeah.
and they feel like they have some response to the food,
Yeah.
unless you're just sitting and talking.
So you said you changed the menus a couple of times, and
Yes.
you added rice was one example of the changes
Yes.
you made. So
Pizza too.
right,
Chicago pizza was a big thing in my restaurant now.
yeah.
Since we're the first one in Thailand to serve it.
I was a little skeptical when I looked at it because it looked like it had so much tomato sauce on it.
Yes.
That's slightly different than Uno, right?
Yes.
Looking at an Uno pizza. So Pizzeria Uno, Franco, middle of Chicago, Pizzeria Due is deep dish, conservatively 3-4 inches, right?
Yes.
It's sometimes hard and sometimes sourdough.
Giordano's and-
Giordano's. Oh, yeah, your school was right by Giordano's, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Giordano's and Lomanati's is my
Right.
favorite.
Right, and so big, thick pizza, lots of sauce, but lots of meat or whatever else on there.
Yes.
You have a heavy base of tomato sauce on.
Yes, and loads of cheese
Right.
and stuffing.
And when you told me, you wrote instructions on the top when I took it home, you said heat it up in the oven.
Yes.
I thought, oh, that's smart because I would have just started eating this raw or, it would have been messy.
Yes.
Right.
And more melty when you eat it at home. Yeah.
Right. And I did that. And I was like, wow, I'm glad I didn't just start eating this without that. Okay, so you have the menu, but it's still this Mediterranean thing that triggered in your head years ago, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Because I ran a trip with my family to Europe. So that's how I got the inspiration from each country. I've traveled. I went to the farmer's market. I went to
Nice.
fine dining restaurant. I went to everywhere. I want to see the local, what they eat, what the high ends eat, and what regular people eat.
I never thought of that. Like, my vacations are so sort of ridiculous because it's like I'm going to book the golf outing, right? which is typical, stupid, me. It's just dumb. It's just go golf somewhere else as opposed to go and see the culture. But for you, like, the fun thing would be the market. Like, I bet you love the Klung Toi market, right? Like, going in there is like...
It's fun.
Right, like, it's massive, right? You can go in
Yes.
there, and I'm sure you've seen versions of that in the cities you go to.
I like every city that I go. It's farmer's market, fresh stuff, high quality, affordable price, sustainability.
Right.
Perfect.
And
That's what chef loves.
Do you try to hit it at the times when your people are there, like early morning?
We sometimes, at first we went there by ourselves until we were accustomed to them. And then they were like, hey, you know what? Can you deliver to us?
Right.
We'll get you special things.
Right.
We get some deals for them.
And they probably have some crazy grab service now.
Yes, and then send it to us. So pretty good for us.
Even the nature of the market's changing, right?
Yeah, because once you're fine customers to them, they'll keep the stuff for you.
Right.
You buy them for
right.
a year
Like,
now.
I get the day-old stuff when I show up, and it's still fine, and you get the stuff that showed up 5 seconds ago, and
Yes.
it's good. And they
It's
say,
like the
hey,
fish markets, if
Yeah.
in Japan, and as I know, my Japanese friend told me that they went to Tsukichi market, and some of the chefs will get their special
right.
first because they're like usual customers.
Yeah. I never
Just
thought
go
of
in the
that.
early morning and get it.
So your idea of a fun trip to Paris would be to hit the market in the morning and then a bunch of restaurants.
Yes.
Museums, don't even bother?
I do. I like history.
Yeah.
I like the culture difference, the museum. Pretty much I want to know about the country I go to.
Yeah.
How they love the people, what to eat, how to have fun, what do they do.
Huh.
I just pretty much, because the whole thing, how people live, is with their environment and food and what they grow there.
Yeah.
So if you know what they like and what they grow there, that's how the cuisine will be based on.
Well, I'm trying to think now, because I'm going to use a bad example. Maybe Anthony Bourdain, Parthenon or whatever, his things are largely food focused, right?
Yes.
But he
I love him. He's a
yeah.
great guy.
Yeah, I mean, and I love the shows, and the ones in Bangkok and Chiang Mai were awesome, and et cetera. But I was just trying to think, did he week in, week out end up at the portrait gallery? And the answer is no, he didn't. He didn't do that in every city he went to, but there were other things. And his was so encompassing. But it's interesting how you described it, and I never thought of that. Like, if you're dating a chef, like, get ready to get up on your vacation, I can get ready to eat, right?
You don't see a vacation with chef. You're married to a chef, you know he's busy.
Right. Interesting. All right. So you're here now and you're Mediterranean plus, and you have a series of dishes and you're making the menu. And I'm not sure, I've sort of been out of practice for a couple of months because we shut the podcast down. And so I'm sensitive about what I say and why I'm saying it. And I don't know why I'm saying this next piece. So I'm going to try it. Your kitchen's halal certified?
Yes.
What's up with that? I mean, so you go to Chicago and you hit the road, and then you come back and you work at the Siamese Club with Chef Ian, and then you open your spot up after doing brisket, and bam.
I mean, the halal market is growing. People really look at it. And, as for a Muslim myself, and there's so many markets you can make out of it. Because the people here, the food here, they're not up to restaurant standards. I mean, I don't want to say bad things, but
Not up to your training.
Yeah.
Right. You saw the other side in a different place, and you said, I can improve in it.
Yes, I can improve in the restaurant within the halal industry for the food. There needs to be someone who makes a change.
Right.
If no one stands up for a change, you're gonna eat the same thing over and over, which is right as a biryani and and all
which
those.
are awesome, but
yes, they are awesome.
right.
But I want to have some different cuisine, an option for them, so that they could try some new things and like not just the old typical old plain good stuff.
Yeah. So with that said, and I'm sorry if that was offensive. I'm not sure how to ask the question, but I think we got through it. Okay. Right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I mean, I was absolutely floored by the lamb dish you brought out for me. It was so awesome, and you had the bone and the cuts, but the way you presented it was very good. And you told me that wagyu lamb, I think you'd mentioned.
Yes.
And it sounded jokey, but we were joking Chicago and stuff. But I thought,
I know wagyu in Japanese means Japanese cow,
right.
But I'm just comparing to a premium level. I don't.
Right.
So there's not a way to to let people understand
Right.
what you're giving.
Right.
So I'm just saying like this is lamb is premium as wagyu. So,
Right. So this
they're
is
like,
your premium lamb.
So they have this kind of idea now what they're going with.
And so you said that it had a particular diet too, that it was fed.
Yes.
What, I forget.
It was only fed with carrots and olives.
Carrots and olives. So
Yes.
this lamb only had carrots and olives. And it tasted excellent. I mean, it was very different than other lambs I've had.
And it's smooth. It's like
Very smooth.
It's like braised, but it's not. And you have this little chewy texture. I mean, like that. It's just smooth.
So correct me if I'm wrong here. I would refer to like a pheasant or a duck as with having a gamey taste, right?
Yes.
Do lambs have gamey taste?
They
as
do.
well?
They do.
Right. Okay. So I'm in this right ballpark here. But this had less of a gamey taste.
Yes, because due to they had a lot of olives.
Right.
Because their nature of lamb eat oregano, olives, and all that. In the nature in Mediterranean area, they would have different trees.
Right.
They eat like that. So that's what the owner had the idea. Actually, the lamb of the owner farm is called mottainai. Means like you can't leave out a piece. It's like no. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mottainai means like no leaving.
Motanai.
Yeah. Like
No waste. This
yeah.
is Shogo here translating for the chef, and it means no waste. Motanai. I thought it was French or something. I was like, what is that word? Motanai.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, it's a Japanese word.
Okay.
And the owner, she's like doing this. So she's no waste. Every part she used, and she was actually a lawyer before she became a farmer.
That's respectable.
And then she I like farming. I want to make people happy. I'll make this new type of lamp
In Australia.
in Australia.
How did you hook up with her or meet her?
One of the company called CTI, they hooked me up with the owner.
In Thailand,
In
CTA?
Thailand, yeah.
Huh.
So they're doing imported stuff. Like they do like a very special place. Ingredients, what they have, like Japanese asari clam, mottainai lamb from Australia. They have different like unique stuff, oysters and all that. So they bring all different stuff and they invite me to an event. So I start trying and like, hey, I like this. Chef, can you be the first one to use our lamb? I'm like, why not?
I never
started-
thought of that. Like, so there's a whole universe of meetings and events and things you go to out there that are putting you in touch with like the right knife guy and the right spice guy and the right
Yes.
or girl and the right lamb seller, motanai.
Yes. Yeah, even the owner herself came
Right.
to talk to me. She flew from Australia.
Nice.
And she's really friendly. She's very passionate about what she do. And she really wants her customer to know what to use the best of her lamb.
So is that the fat lamb?
Yes.
Yeah.
And our restaurant probably said fat lamb. And it's, we're doing the best with our lambs now.
Yeah.
We sell tons of lamb within
Yeah.
about 3 years of opening.
So do you have a lamb sandwich? I didn't notice.
Well, don't do sandwiches of yet.
No, I was just curious because there were several lamb dishes. Is
We
there a
had lamb
kebab?
burgers though.
Yeah, right. Was there a lamb kebab?
Yes, we have lamb kebabs.
I don't remember. I'm surprised I didn't get that because I usually get that. And I would like to eat with my fingers and dip it into any of the
Yogurt
creamy yogurt sauces.
Yes.
Is that acceptable behavior?
It's acceptable. That's how you eat it. Yeah. For our special lamb kebabs, we use lamb rack. It's just not others part,
What does that mean?
the rack part.
Oh,
Because usually other people would use leg or something like that. I use a rack.
so is the rack the ribs?
Yes,
You're
the
pointing
rib,
here.
like
And
a
so is
prime
it the
rib.
meat
it's
that's
like
on
a
it?
prime rib of the lamb.
Is that a fatty spot or what is that? What's the difference?
It's like a tenderloin.
Tenderloin. Okay.
It's creamy, and then you
Yeah, yeah.
marinate it, and then everything it's chewy, it's nice and soft. We serve it medium, so not too cooked, not too raw for some people. You get perfect overall tasty.
I thought there was sort of a universal language for lamb of cooking, and you didn't serve it raw generally, right?
Yes.
Why is that?
You can serve lamb medium rare, medium, but for me, I do medium because some Thai people don't like
Bloody.
something too raw,
Yeah, yeah.
and some people don't like it too cooked. So I
Yeah.
just go with medium.
Interesting. So then okay, well, there it is. I mean, so in your, the restaurant, if we're describing Bangkok in terms of circles or sort of Asok, my neighborhood, this neighborhood being the center of the circle, we'll just be,
Yes.
we'll be conceited here and say, this is the center
Yes.
where we are right now. And the airport sort of being the outer target. You're before you get to the airport.
Yes.
On Ramanine?
Ramanine, yes.
Ramanine Road. And so easy to get to for me. Eddie and I drove out there, and we had dinner there a couple weeks ago, and we ordered a bunch of dishes, but
Yes.
real easy to find. Aston Martin dealer on the corner.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with
they
this?
have that fancy car drive. So every time a customer asks me like, "Oh, it's in front of the store with the fancy car guy out there." I don't know him. I'm just like,
Yeah, right.
That's
just a
how you
neighbor.
spot us.
Yeah. Yeah, but a residential neighborhood.
Yes,
Yeah, very quiet, very nice.
and very I say well-being.
Yeah, it looked like
residential.
it, right? Yeah.
they're like more wealth up. Yeah.
Yeah. So rich neighborhood, you can say it. But yeah, nice, easy to get out to and cool.
It's like you're going in the north part of Chicago.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
people are more relaxed and nice, fancy, and all that. Yeah.
And we love the South Side as well, but it's all part of one big city. So
Yes.
yeah. So you had a location at Siam Paragon for a little while, right? Or something, a pop-up stand or a stand or something?
Yes, we do. We had like a quick kebab with pizza, like La Majun is like a Turkish pizza with barbecue chicken wings and grilled chicken and all that with rice. It's a well place. We made a lot of profits from it, but then the corona hit, so we gotta step down.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting as I sit and listen to you. When I drove out there, I thought, okay, very methodical, building a place. Doesn't have to be at Paragon, which I don't recall ever myself driving over there to go eat, but I'm sure I have. I mean, just, but I thought this is interesting, your choice. And so proof of concept is in the food, not, right, so your hallmark is the food. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Really interesting.
Food is just what connects people together.
Yeah.
Even though you're not from the same country, you can become best friend with food.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
what I believe.
Yeah, I'm sorry I cut you off there. I thought you were done. So yeah, I mean, connecting to people for sure, and I think you do it. And it's, I've watched on a Line chat. We use Line application here in Thailand, sort of like WhatsApp in the rest of the world or other places. But I've seen sort of the development. But did you guys turn into you talked? We talked before, so I know a little bit of the answer. You'd take delivery requests, and during COVID, when it was in its early stages, you'd sort of set it outside the door and you'd come pick it up.
Yes.
Is there any normalcy to your business now? Is 60% of your business still delivery and takeout?
Right now we're focused on sitting now.
Yeah.
And then now delivery is more of a relax.
Right.
But usually now people are packed with sitting. 'Cause since we were able to sit down, my restaurant, people enjoy its environment,
Yeah.
at the same time authenticity and modernness of it. So when you came here, you don't feel like you're in Thailand.
Yeah.
You feel like, okay, I'm in a foreign country with this music, with this type of environment.
Sure.
So then you feel like, oh, at least it's a proper, authentic Mediterranean cuisine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you don't feel like, oh, one of those restaurants where they have like a co-owner. They're trying to be like foreign, but the taste is more of a Thai palate than a foreign expat would like it.
Well, it was certainly even the neighborhood sort of, you put your guard down because you're like, we're okay. There's
more relaxed.
no identifiers. There's not like some 500-story building that's going to tip your hand. There'll be a Starbucks.
And people
in it.
likes to come in for relaxing because they can bring their loved one, their families, or private, business talk.
Huh.
Because we cater to all Thai people. I've catered from the ex-prime minister, tycoons, famous actors from different countries came to my restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm
Cool.
very happy with it. Yeah.
I just sent something back to you. I think you had the foreign minister for Bangladesh there.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I lived in Bangladesh for 3 years, so
pretty cool.
I'm always excited when I see the guys coming in. So
Awesome.
that was fun. I think I saw your dad in that photo too, right?
Yes.
That was cool.
They want to help the orphans, so they let us do cooking and give the food to the orphanage.
What did you do?
We do American chicken burger with brioche breads and nice French fries dip, ice cream and chips. That's
Nice.
it.
You make your own brioche?
Yes, we make our own bread, potato buns. Like the like Shake Shack.
Yeah.
That's type of bread.
Yeah, I think I saw it in the menu. You had a picture in the menu of one of the buns?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
I
had
saw
the chicken
that.
menu.
I wanted to. We ordered a lot, but I wanted to take one of the buns out just to eat it, and I
But
forgot.
Our chicken was like brine,
Yeah.
but we use a premium chicken. It's like a wagyu chicken. I don't know, like
The Wagyu
premium
chicken.
Yeah, but-
Wagyu chicken.
Wagyu chicken.
I'm not sure on that.
And then we
one.
do like katsu style, and then we do a lot of like mayonnaise, horseradish, mustardy, ketchupy flavor.
Now
And then
you-
with pickles and vegetable. When you bite that crunchiness, like,
Nice.
and then you have that overwhelming potato and sauce. Just go around with the fries, you know.
Cool. You don't motonai chicken, do you?
Oh no, I would love to. I mean, I use everything, of course.
I'm gonna get me a little scared if you start motonai chicken. I'm not sure if some of that looks.
I mean, in Japan they use everything with the chicken,
I
the wingtips, the everything. For the the special chef where they use just for the grilling, like yakitori chef.
Yeah.
They do everything with
Don't tell me
liver,
this.
heart,
Yeah, Jesus.
everything.
All right, I don't have the stomach for that part of chefness. I would have failed in year 3 if that's what they taught you. I'm looking at some notes I took just to make sure I covered stuff. You've had some run-ins with Iron Chef. You won?
Yes, I did.
All right, so there you go. Bam.
I bought the Tetsujin.
Yeah. What did you have to cook a thing to win, or was it just a series of excellent performance?
Oh no, I beat them.
Yeah.
So
Beat it?
yes.
All right, so it's like
No.
Jordan. It's
No,
like
no, no,
LeBron.
Jordan.
It was 100 to 60. I'm with you on this. I like the description.
No,
Sorry, Dad.
no, it was like, you know, we just get in
Yeah.
the stadium. The Iron Chef was there, and like, this is your secret ingredient today, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna make like 4 or 5 dishes, and then at the end of the last 15 minutes, we had to make another extra ingredients,
Huh.
which is a lollipop.
Ah,
So what I did with that lollipop was melt it down and make it to a gel, like jelly, and then put in some whipped cream and fresh fruits.
Huh.
Because you only have 15 minutes to make something up.
right.
Yeah.
and so, and then you won that, and that's televised here on Thai
Yes.
TV?
It was a big thing.
Uh-huh.
So it was a very big thing. All my friends are like making like Paul Jordan video, like
Right,
"Yeah,"
right,
going
right,
crazy, and like all my friends congrats me, and they came to the restaurant, like, and then the next day the restaurant was so packed,
Just like that.
just from like this. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Right. Social
Since
media.
that was like we just opened for the first month. I won after that, and then like, and then from there our restaurant just.
Yeah.
I was so lucky that they invited me to the show, and
Well, but you weren't lucky to win. You won it, right? I mean, so, or maybe you're lucky, but I'm sure your training and your 10-year-old reading Chef Ian's book is all wrapped up into winning a contest. So,
I worked really hard. I
Yeah.
was so nervous about in the competition too. There was a lot of pressure, but you know, I just have to stand tall with what I do best and just stick with it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really sort of conviction moment, right?
Yeah. And I'm very like, oh, am I gonna win? Am I gonna win? When he's like, the winner is Chef, and then like, yeah, and I'm like, damn it, I finally win.
Did you do something goofy? Like, did you jump and twist your ankle or anything, or did you?
I'm like, and
All right.
like, you know, like how football player when the
Right,
score,
like
like,
you're a Chicago guy, right? You want to high five someone.
yeah.
So now, does the Iron Chef structure have a prominent chef as the dude who runs the show or the woman who runs the show?
There is like a chef. Which Iron Chef is available?
Right.
Well, you don't know who there is.
Yeah. Who was on yours?
You don't know chef guy.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like the French Mediterranean kind of chef.
Yeah.
So it's fit my cuisine.
Okay.
So like, it's nice. She was French trained. She was really well off.
Is she souffleing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love her.
that was
I that's up by my office. I eat there all the time.
Yeah, that's her restaurant.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the souffle full course, like appetizer
Very nice,
souffle, dessert souffle.
That was challenging though.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, to compete, Iron Chef is already a thing already.
Right.
And you're like, okay, am I gonna beat her? Can I do it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I had a lot of things in my mind, but what I focus is, I'm gonna do this dish. I'm gonna do this dish. I don't care if it's win or not. I show all my cool skills because everybody's watching.
Wow.
That's what I do.
Was she one of the judges?
Later, I don't know.
I mean, on your show?
On my show?
Yeah.
No,
Or
she's contestant. Like
Ah.
I compete with her.
I see. Yeah, I'm a
She's
huge
the
fan of hers.
Iron Chef, and
Okay.
I am the Challenger Chef.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Huh. She's still awesome, though, right?
She's awesome. She's
Yeah.
very nice.
She has one souffle. She puts out a little thing of honey with a weird little tool to spread the honey and nuts. And one of her souffles, a cheese souffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
awesome.
her. I had one time at her restaurant. It was really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Cool spot, right?
Cool spot. Yes.
Over by that Chinese temple. That's
Yes.
huge property.
But if they put me with Chef Ian, I'll be scared, man.
Yeah.
I'd be honest. I'd be very, very scared.
That's the best part of this narrative, though, if you get in some cook-off with him because he had his book at a young age and then you went with him. And
Yeah, I'll be like a fanboy instead of like, like, oh, chef, I'm going to beat you. I'm like, oh, chef, please help me.
do you think he'd do a Michael Jordan and say, like, I'm gonna score 50 on you tonight, bro?
I can't do that. I adore him so much. I can't, I'm like,
just buckle.
yeah, I would actually cry. Like,
I
oh,
don't know.
shit.
I think you'd rally and you'd stomp on him and you'd say, "Come on, chef, let's go." I covered everything I wanted to cover here. I don't know how much time we've spent, but this is sort of how we do it here. So I told you, Roman Anton podcast has 3 parts. This interview.
Yes.
We would normally have a performance, which you will be doing today, and it may be just simply pulling something out of the oven or showing us something, but it would be sort of cooking. And then we would have a place we go to in Thailand, which also lines up to the restaurant. So we are checking off all 3 boxes today.
Awesome.
And so at this point, Franco, did I miss anything? Are we okay? I think what we'll do here is shut down, and then we will get in cars and head out to the restaurant.
Awesome.
And we'll do quickly or slowly, however we want, parts 2 and 3. But it was a pleasure having you in today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Did I miss anything you wanted to say, or was there anything you came here prepared to let folks who watch this know? Social media? Fat Lamb?
Yes.
Facebook?
If anybody wants to try modern style Mediterranean food, you can just stop by my restaurant and say hi. I won't bite.
All right, cool. And it's Fat Lamb on Facebook, and we're in Bangkok, so it's a Facebook crowd.
We are doing really authentic cuisine with high quality ingredients with affordable price.
Yeah.
Not too much high. It's the same price you much pay in the States, but we do the best ingredient we could find in Thailand compared to other restaurants.
Agreed.
And we'd like you to try our food and bring your loved ones here. So just follow us. It's Fat Lamb BKK.
Fat Lamb BKK.
Follow me on Yakup Chef on IG.
All right, Yakup Chef. Yakub or P?
P.
Yeah, that's the difference here. Yakup, no space, chef.
Yes. That's
All right, that's Instagram. All right, let's shut it down. It was a pleasure having you in today. I appreciate
so
you
much,
braving
Mr.
the
Anton.
traffic, and we'll head out to Fat Lamb and go check out the food there.
Thank you so much, Mr.
All right.
Roman Anton. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we are at the Fat Lamb. I'm here with Chef Yakup. Thank you for having us. It was
Thank you
good
for
talking
coming.
today. We ordered a bunch of stuff, so we have some lamb and beef shish kebabs coming. We got some burgers coming. You got some bed bacon over here. But
Yes.
I wanted to hear your story about your Chicago deep dish pizza in the middle of Bangkok. How about that? So try that out. Chef, tell me what you're doing.
So right now we have our half-baked dough. Since we have a lot of orders in a day, we have like hundreds or 50 going on. So what we do is we half-bake our fresh dough daily, and then we will put the cheese and we bake it with our stuffing.
So is that that dough looks like it's brown or tan, or is that sourdough?
It's a fermented pizza dough.
Fermented pizza dough.
Yes.
What does it ferment with, or what does that mean?
So fermented, keeps like you eat more concentrated flavor, more fluffy, more air, keeps the time of the yeast to grow a little bit.
Huh.
So when you eat, it's not tough and dense. It's growing.
Yeah, I was able to cut it really, when I had it last time, I was able to cut it really easy. I was surprised.
Yes, that's what, because we ferment our dough for one day.
Okay.
Then we bake daily of each thing
Nice.
we're doing. Yes.
And so what are the ingredients you put in?
Of yeast, and we have pizza dough from. We got our dough actually from Japan
Okay.
because we don't have a high quality dough here in Thailand, so we import dough from Japan. And for our Napoli pizza, we do with our Italian flour.
Okay, cool. And so is tomato...
Right now we have provolone cheese, mozzarella cheese,
Provolone,
and we have,
mozzarella.
and Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And for our secret is our blend of sausage. So we use our wagyu meat, Hajima wagyu, and we add it with pepper paste, onion, bell pepper, garlic, onions, thyme, and oregano.
Nice.
A lot of spices. So we put a sausage in layer with cheese and a tomato, and we're gonna bake it.
I was surprised how thick that was when I was eating it and how well it cooked.
Yes, because it's baked in a very
Nice.
high
Is this
convection
the
oven. Yeah.
Okay, convection oven.
Yes.
Okay.
It has a wind and it flows everything equally.
Awesome.
So how we do is we put our cheese. Put our
I'm going to watch over your shoulder. I'm not going to get mixed up in there.
So we put a lot of cheese in our
Yes.
pizza.
Big fan of the cheese.
Yes.
Wisconsin.
Yes. Big
Right.
Wisconsin cheese fan. And then we put our mozzarella.
Wow, the whole thing. I wouldn't have thought you'd be putting that much in. That's awesome.
That much cheese for our customers. And Parmesan cheese. So we really like our cheese so much, so you gotta get the real flavor there.
Nice.
Then, for our secret is the sausage, you know, the meat. No encasing. So we're gonna put a lot of meat in here.
Why do you rip it apart and not just pour it in there?
Because it gives us more cooked evenly. If you don't put the whole slab in, it's not cooked evenly. I like it more stretched everywhere than just in one place.
Nice.
So because when you cut, you get each bite. But if you slap the whole thing,
Right.
you have as a one layer into each bite, you know. So then we're ready. We put our
That's all?
Yep, and
Wow.
our homemade.
It comes out so evenly when it's done, right?
Yes. We have our homemade Chicago style pizza sauce.
Oh, there we go. That's what I was
That's the
saying.
secret
Okay.
here.
All right.
It takes half a day to cook this because we have a lot of big pots and reduce in half. Got this concentrated flavor. So now we have the sauce.
There we go.
Juicy tomato sauce.
God, I'm such a bad chef. I thought that was going to somehow melt. That's not what I was thinking, Yakup.
Oh, I mean, Japanese beef is really like, you know, creamy. So it has a lot of fat inside. You don't have to put much more.
That looks wild, doesn't it? It looks like a soup or something. That's crazy.
That's how much tomato you're gonna put inside.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put some olive oil on top before we bake it. That's pretty much it. We use our extra virgin olive oil.
Nice.
This
Sorry,
one is
we're in your way.
unfiltered olive oil. It has a lot of high phenomenal, so it's good for the ladies too. If the ladies eat, helps about the breast cancer
Oh.
and all that. Yeah, because it has the high polyphenol.
Huh, I didn't know that was a thing.
It is a thing. And yeah, and we're gonna put it in our oven.
All right, we're moving camera too. Look at that close-up shot of the oven issue. Bammo.
You're gonna cook it for 10 minutes, 200.
10 minutes, that's it.
Yes, because it's already half baked. Then for the last
it's
5
dough
minutes.
that takes the baking, right?
Yes, and then for the last 10 minutes, for the last 5 minutes, I'm gonna crank the heat up to 230. And there we go.
Nice.
We'll rest out the oven and served, ready to eat.
Awesome. So let's
Yes.
break here, fellas, and then we're going to be out at the food table eating. Would you come out and join us when it
Yes,
comes out?
we're now finished your order. I'll join you guys.
All right. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
All right. Here we are, Fat Lamb in Bangkok, Thailand. Chef Yakup and the boys and the girls here. All right. Right on. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
1, 2, 3, quiet.